What's going on, MLW fans? If you're watching this, you know who we are. It's the MLW Rewind. And I'm your host, your boy, George Mackay, here with my PIC, Uncle Bobby B.
What's up, baby?
What's up is the series finale, or I guess I want to say series finale, season finale of MLW Fusion Alpha is now wrapped up. We take a couple weeks hiatus, which we will also be taking a couple weeks hiatus, but we're back on January 6th, which we all know will be in Mexico. That's what they'll be doing. And then they return to Dallas January 21st for TV tapings, which will probably air sometime in February. Couple things to talk about, though, as we literally head 2 weeks into Christmas. No sign of Will Ospreay up until this point. We were supposed to see him in November, if I'm not mistaken. So just curious as to what happened with Will Ospreay. Maybe something to do with COVID restrictions, maybe something to do with other time schedules. I'm not sure, but he just never showed.
He was in the States because our friends of the show, the Dirty Heels, Good Brother Bo, posted a picture with him at Hog at House of Glory. So he was in the States. So it's entirely possible that segments were taped and just haven't aired yet. And they kept it on the down low, but no live appearances that we've heard of, and nothing from people who've been to the actual shows in Philly. They haven't reported. Like it would have blown up all over the internet if he was
100%. Yeah,
there.
we would have seen a clip. I mean, we could be like other podcasters and read our clippings off of other people's news websites and take credit for it, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to state what we know, and what we know is that we have yet to officially see him. So I don't know, but hey, when we do see him, it's going to be dynamite. But what we did see was a lot of fire promos, two subpar matches, in my opinion, one great match, in my opinion, and obviously Rob will get your opinions. But let's kick it off, shall we? It starts with who else but the new reigning defending MLW Tag Team Champions, 5150, making a promo. And again, I've always said this about 5150. All four of these guys could take the whole hour to talk, and I would do nothing but sit back and listen with the biggest fucking grin on my face, like I had seen tits for the first time. That's how glorious these guys' promos are. Okay, it's 100% factual. Rob's laughing right now, but it's not. Listen, the first time I saw boobs, I was like 12. It was like one of my dad's Playboys, and I was like, I don't know what this is, but I'm all about this. Right?
That's like the first time we all saw boobs.
Yeah,
but
100%.
100%.
The first time I watched porn, it was like 70s porn too. I was a big fan of Kay Parker. Big fan. I'm just saying. I'm letting you know. I'm letting you know.
Moving right along. We had 5150 cutting a promo.
And it's legendary. It always is. Conan, Los Pars talking shit. I told them we would clap back and it would not be nice. Send us the best. We ready. Slice, Life of a Gangster. Very few gangsters leave the game and become champions. Straight up. We told you, and it didn't take 10 years. Danny, we did what we said we would do. We laid the blueprint, and we about to pop some Hennessy, hit some clubs, see some Latinas, and get to work. You know what it is. We like to, when you come from rock bottom and you become MLW and you become the MLW Tag Team Champions, just remember, when you come to MLW, wherever you're from, who you are, you got to go through us. And then obviously Smokes in the background, just adding a little flavor to it all, jumping around the plate. Like, I got to say this about Smokes. Every time I see this guy, he is dripping sweat because he's literally never stopped moving. He never stops moving. Never.
It's true. It's true. He's never not moving. He's dancing. He's like the ultimate hype man, just constant motion.
Dude, if I had him as my hype man, that'd be awesome. Could you imagine like walking into work or like getting a wake-up call at a hotel from Julius Smokes? Yo, bitches, get up. Holla. It would be amazing. It would be the best wake-up call ever. So we know that a couple of matches tonight. Homicide back in action in an MLW ring in a very long time. He's like an MLW OG. If anybody watched back in 2003, he was on the first episode of MLW Underground. He fought Jerry Lynn. It was an awesome match. And during this match, he's going to be taking on LA Park. We're going to be kind of, I guess, bigging up this Los Parks and 5150 kind of rivalry. It's not going to go away. It's not going to disappear because we do find out who 5150's next opponent is, but it is going to subside for right now. But I can't wait to see 5150 and Los Parks tangle again because I think that'll be good. We also know that we're going to see Atsuki versus Tajiri tonight. And our first match of the evening is Holodead with our good friend, the Gimp, Dr. Dax, and Willow Nightingale. But guess what, Rob? She's not alone.
She is not alone.
She has brought someone to counteract Dr. Dax. And it's none other than Philly's favorite son. No, not Bud Heavy. I know he thinks he's Philly's favorite son, but I'm talking about an ECW original. That's right. The Blue Meanie is in Willow Nightingale's corner. And I got to be honest with you, Rob, he didn't really help out in this match at all. There was a couple times Dr. Dax got involved and Blue Meanie did absolutely nothing. When Willow was hanging on the ropes, hanging on the ring, the corner, the turnbuckle, Dr. Dax was grabbing her foot, and all Meanie was doing was pointing to the ref and being like, hey, pay attention. That's not how you become the equalizer, Meanie. You did absolutely nothing to help in the early stages of this match. I got to be completely honest. And Holodead was in firm control. Firm control. I also love that picture perfect kick to the face that Holodead did when the distraction happened with the Gimp. I mean, she hit her right smack in the jaw. Like, she got all of that kick. It was fantastic. And what else happened in this match? Oh, you know what? Like I said, Dax interfered a lot, but finally, Dax breaks off his chain and he goes around to the other side of the ring. And finally, Meanie wakes up and realizes, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be the equalizer. So now they're fighting on the outside. Holodead is distracted and Willow hits her with a kick of her own. And I really thought she was gonna take it, but then wouldn't you know it, the other member of Holodead's faction, whatever it is, yet to be named, Eris, he walks out, he causes the distraction, takes Meanie out. There was that little cool sequence in the ring where all four of them were hitting each other. And then he came in, takes out Meanie, distracts Willow. Holodead plants her with a super sweet, almost looked like a reverse pile driver, if you will. And it's the 1, 2, 3. And Holodead steals the win. And I want to say that if Willow is supposed to be the face of the featherweight division, she just got knocked down a peg or two. Now, I will say this much about this match. With all the buildup, the payoff was not what I expected. The payoff was a little bit blah for me. But what are your thoughts on the match, Rob?
It was okay. It wasn't amazing. Like, they're both great wrestlers. Holodead is fantastic. So we know that they can go. I just felt like maybe it wasn't the best. They can do better. But rushed. I also think it's not going to be the end. I think there'll be perhaps some title stakes for these ladies at some point.
Absolutely, for sure. And we also know, we found it later on the show, but it's also broken earlier this week on Twitter, that we're going to get a reigning defending women's champion coming to MLW in January. That's right. Your boy has had her on the Straight Talk show. He's had her at Straight Talk exclusive. We're talking Roxy from ROH, the reigning defending women's champion. I don't know if she'll be bringing the ROH belt with her. I'm assuming she will, because ROH is not dead. They're just on hiatus. But I can't wait to see what she brings to the featherweight division, because Roxy is top notch. She's a sweetheart, but she could tear it up in the ring. So I'm looking forward to see what she brings to the featherweight division.
And that being said, we know that Roxy will in fact be taking on none other than Miranda Gordy, who is the daughter of the late great Terry Bam Bam Gordy, one of the Freebirds. And so with the history and heritage of the Freebirds, Von Erichs in Texas, they're pretty well known there. So with that match going on in Dallas, that should be pretty cool. We're actually trying to get Miranda on the show. I sent her a message a couple days ago, but I don't know if she's had a chance to see it yet. But we'd love to get her on here to chat about her debut in Major League Wrestling against the Ring of Honor champion, Roxy. So that match should be fantastic. Looking forward to seeing MLW bringing in more women into the featherweight division.
Absolutely. And these are two great additions. And what kind of a debut for Gordy? I mean, to come up in an MLW ring, but also in your own backyard. Like, come on. You can't ask for more than that, a hometown debut in the house that your dad helped build. Hell yeah. No fucking way could you.
Yeah. And she's wrestled NWA. Like, she's been working, and I have seen some footage of her work, and she's got that Southern brawler style, like kind of similar to maybe a Jordan Grace, less power moves though. She can go. So she's this should be an interesting match. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Speed versus power. It's the great equalizer, in my opinion. So it'll be a fantastic match to watch and a great way to elevate this new starting up featherweight division for sure. We also get another Cesar Durant 5150 promo. I mean, 5150 was all over this match tonight. I loved every second of it. So CD's on the phone and 5150 interrupts. And what does Cesar do? Does he get mad, Rob? No, he doesn't. He says, you should pour one out for El Jefe. And he pulls a shot glass out of his jacket. Like, he almost carries it with him. Pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, they have you not seen, they have like collapsible shot glasses. You can keep it on a keychain. It just like pops out when you need it.
Well, he did, and they poured. You know what? And they didn't pour him out the shit, Rob. They poured him out the top notch, the Hennessy. Okay, they poured him out the top notch Hennessy, and then Conan's like, what's happening? CD says, well, guess what? We're going to Mexico. 5150 is all about it. In the words of Danny Limelight, they got some beautiful mamacitas over there. He can't wait to get over there. And then at that point, Conan says, well, what the hell?
Did you just have a kid?
What?
Didn't you just have a kid?
Danny Limelight? No, he's got a daughter. He's got a young daughter, 7-8 years old. I don't know if he's got another kid.
Oh, yeah. No, sorry. He didn't just have a daughter. He's got a daughter. My bad.
But he's got a daughter.
Yeah, because you guys talked about like dad.
Yeah. You talked about the ultimate dad maneuver. No matter who comes over, man or woman, whoever your kids end up loving is love. But I don't give a shit who walks through that door. You're going to go through the same shit that anybody else would. Doesn't matter your gender. I'm just going to put you through the ringer. You want to date my daughter? You better come correct, my friend. That's it. Straight up.
Okay.
And then Conan
anyways says, mamacitas in Mexico.
Yeah, mamacitas in Mexico. Conan says, hey man, we're celebrating. What about some cards, some dice, some dominoes? CD reaches in his jacket, and everyone at 5150 knows what happens when somebody reaches in their jacket. They think he's packing, and he is packing. He's packing a deck of cards. So the camera fades out as I guess they start dealing whatever kind of card game they're into. But I thought that was great. Then we get another great promo. The Von Erichs. Now the Von Erichs, they haven't really been on MLW TV unless it's been a promo here or there. But when these guys cut a promo and they're actually into it and they're invested, they make the promo entertaining. So this starts off with Marshall Von Erich doing a little hand-eye coordination. That's right, he's playing Pac-Man. That is the only way you can get hand-eye coordination to 100% is to play old school Pac-Man. Ross runs in and says, we got it. It's here. Stack of papers. It's the contract for Dallas. They're getting their title shot at 5150. And Marshall's like, you know what? 5150 is a bunch of pansies who wear panties. All right. We got to get in the gym. We got to get stronger. We got to get faster so we can take him down. And Ross says, okay, let's go. Marshall says, hang on a second. I got to finish my game here. And he ends up dying like instantaneously. He says, I died. All right, let's just go to the gym. So side note, if you watch that sequence, Marshall Von Erich is not a very good Pac-Man player. He went right into the ghost. He didn't even try to go the other way. He went right into the ghost. Like that's Pac-Man 101. Marshall, you have been on the show before. I know you do watch us. You're better than that, man. I would expect it a lot more from you in a game of Pac-Man. That's an OG video game, and you died pretty easy. There was a lot of pebbles left on that board, man. Okay, straight up. Just saying. But what did you think about the Von Erichs promo and the fact that 5150, our favorite tag team, is a bunch of pansies who wear panties?
Honestly, I watched the promo twice, and I was like, it just felt flat. And and I hate to be critical, and I'm not trying to be critical unnecessarily. I don't know. I didn't feel it. They were saying it, but I didn't feel it. Whereas 5150, on the other hand, when they were talking, I felt everything. And that's just in these two promos. I just happened to feel that one and not feel the other one.
Fair enough.
We know the Von Erichs can cut promos. It just, this particular one I felt was a little flat in its delivery. That being said, I can't wait for the match. It's going to be a banger. Absolutely. I didn't need a promo to get me invested in the match because I know it's going to be a good match. So no real issues on it. It's not like this needed to be like a pipe bomb promo. The stakes are there whether the promo is great or not.
The promo for me was enjoyable. Just again, that poor display in Pac-Man. Like, come on, Marshall, you were better than that.
Yeah, it didn't help. It did not help you, Marshall, with
did not
poor Pac-Man proficiency.
Yeah, man. Ross, honestly, Ross should have, before they left, Ross should have been like, hold on, let me get this hand-eye coordination. And he should have just outruled his brother, plain and simple. But he didn't do it. Maybe he wants to keep it classy. I would have embarrassed my brother to no avail if I had one, or my sisters for that matter. If they were playing Pac-Man and they shit the bed like that, I would have been all over them. Come on, man. You know what the worst part was? It was the cherry round. It was the first round. It wasn't the cherry round, man. It's like the easiest round, bro. I don't get it. All right, now we get our second match of the evening. Homicide versus LA Park. Smoke's in his corner. And again, like instantaneously dripping sweat because as Homicide just strolls out there, Smoke's like runs past him and beelines around the ring. Like Smoke makes any match entertaining for me. And I hate to say this, but I spend more time watching Smokes and what he's doing than I do sometimes. I get lost in Smokes than I do the match. Is that wrong?
Doesn't he carry a towel a lot of times too?
He does. Well, for obvious reasons. He's like dripping. He's drenched.
I wonder if you got hypohidrosis. You might want to see a doctor, Smokes. He actually just followed me on Instagram, so maybe I'll reach out to him, see if we can get him on the show too.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I got to
Yes.
follow as well. So he's great. He's a fantastic person. And the best part about it is when the match was going on, you could see him actually leaning over the guardrail, shit talking some lady in the crowd. Like he was all in on her in the crowd. Like I don't know what they were saying, but she looked pissed. He looked pissed. He looked
Well,
right fucking angry.
you know what? Like, I don't know if you saw the clip of Richard Holiday. Somebody was, I guess, talking shit to him at a match, and he said, "You paid to be here. Uh, I'm getting paid to be here. So sit down and shut up." Because I guess the guy was chirping Richard, and it's like, hey, if you're gonna disrespect these guys, it's one thing to be a fan and boo and whatever, but when you cross a line, they're gonna come back at you, and they should.
100%, absolutely. That's for their safety as well. They're there to make a living, and if you paid to go see them entertain, then guess what? Just enjoy the show. You may not like a wrestler or hate a wrestler fully, but just because you don't, you can boo them. You can do that. But if they're walking around the ring, don't start shit talking them. You just look like a classless fan, and you set all of us back. You really do. You're
Like that clown
that
with MVP.
well, or the guy that jumped the guardrail and attacked Seth Rollins. Like you're not the fan that we don't want in the crowd.
That's I think that guy had maybe some mental health issues and stuff, and there was a little more to that story after it came out. Like he got catfish basically by somebody convincing him he was like Rikishi, and it was a whole bunch of stuff. So, but the point remains: don't ever get in the ring or even touch a wrestler, because if you get punched in the face for doing that, you deserve it. And I do not advocate violence, but don't ever get in the ring or touch wrestlers when they're out there performing.
Absolutely, 100%. So what I liked about this match the most, which was entertaining and helped for me, was the vintageness. We saw a vintage Homicide dive through the ropes. That was just vintage, like looked like Homicide in 2003, man. Always putting his body on the line to entertain the fans. And LA Park, the headbutt and the knees to the face on the ropes. That's vintage LA Park. And then Parks with the dive of his own on Homicide on the chair. That was impressive as well. But at that point, when they were on the ground, Smokes again kind of dancing beside shit talking Park as Parkin is trying to figure out where the hell he is. So but there's no slow down on Smokes. He's literally 100 miles an hour all the time, and that's what makes it so fun to watch. Smokes is, like you said, the true hype man, and that's why he should be in everybody's corner, because he doesn't really distract. He just says all the shit the wrestlers can't say while they're fighting. Like when they're taking shots in the face, they don't have time to say, fuck your mama. But Smokes can say that. And it adds
Saluta tu madre.
That's it. 100%. And then again, Parks hits the spear and he puts away Homicide for the 1, 2, 3.
That was a hard spear too.
That was a spear with, I believe, a message to the rest of 5150. Like that's what I mean, that this is far from over. So right now it's subsiding for right now because there's other feuds that have to happen, but these two will collide again. But I thought this is a great way from the OG from 5150 from LAX and the OG from Los Parks to kind of settle their differences. Obviously, if it was Conan, it would have had a little bit something to it, but Conan, I don't think is ring ready at all. I don't think Conan could. I think there's too many injuries.
Dude's got a hernia. Yeah, that's like ridiculous. Yeah, no, he shouldn't be wrestling.
No, but it was still great to see. Again, it was a great match. It was simple and it was vintage, and I loved it. And that's what made it special for me. Yeah. We also get an update on. Oh, sorry. What were your thoughts on the match?
I know, pretty much echoing everything you said. I enjoyed it. It was a vintage style match. Park got the victory. I mean, either of these guys could have won the match. Just a bunch of us were talking the other day about like who's your indie Mount Rushmore. And a couple of people threw Homicide on their indie Mount Rushmore. So I thought that was an interesting choice. But when you think about it, like, yeah, dude's been around.
Well, started with MLW literally 18 years ago. Yes, okay, I get it. MLW faithful. There was a break in between, but I'm just counting time as a whole. Okay, 18 years. 2000.
Yeah, he's an OG.
He's an OG, and he still looks in great shape. And like I said, this match, if you enjoy vintage Homicide, watch this match because you're going to get nothing but vintage Homicide. And also, I got to give him kudos on that picture perfect DDT. He planted Parks in the middle of the ring. That was picture perfect. Can't even hate that. It
was a nice DDT.
It was a nice DDT. So we also get an update on KC Navarro, his injury update. He's got a neck fracture from what happened from Enzo the previous week, and he's going to New York for further tests. So we wish him the well. And then this was really cool. I see you. Yes. Obviously, we know the beef with Warhorse is far from over. But Nduka, the Nduka profiling the judge. I love this. So I learned a lot about this guy in this like 3-minute profile. First off, he's a 3-sport athlete: basketball, football, baseball. He's stuck with football because it was the easiest way for him to get to college. He went to Briscoe, Texas. He became a champion over there. And while he was there, finished with a 3.67 GPA. Okay. He had a double major in business and biology. And at the end of the little, I guess you want to call it vignette or the profile, he looks at the camera. He goes, not only am I smart, but I'm savage. What a fucking G, man. Straight up. In Duca, I'm all in, baby. Learning this about you now, I'm all fucking in. What was your thoughts about it?
I can't stress enough. I can't say it enough how much WWE dropped the ball with EJ and Duca. And you might be able to say that about a lot of people, but he's got,
yes, you can.
He's got the tools, he's got the talent, he's got the charisma, he's an intelligent man, he gets wrestling, he gets ring psychology. Like, this dude has all the tools to be a huge star in pro wrestling. And I'm really glad he's with MLW, and I think he's doing some fantastic work here right now. Really cool to learn some more about him. Another guy we really hope to get on the show soon, because I think it would be a great conversation we could have with him. But yeah, like you, I'm all in on EJ and Duca. It's going to be interesting to see where he goes, given who the current champions are. But let's run with him for a while, see what happens.
Absolutely. There's a lot of avenues he can cross and a lot of avenues he can hit, other than the middleweight division for obvious reasons. He's not a middleweight. But
like, imagine Kane's trying to suplex. Like, good luck. Hey, nothing against Alex. He's our boy. We love him too. But shit, you ain't throwing no like belly to belly overhead suplexes on EJ and Duca, man.
Absolutely. No, you're going to have to definitely pull out other suplexes to get that man over, because the belly to belly is not going to work. Or is the exploder. You're not going to be able to explode.
Like, the man is a giant, and he's agile. Like, he's athletic. He's agile. He's not like a lumbering giant. He is an athlete. So like, he's got everything.
Yeah, there's yeah.
Checks all the boxes. So I'm excited to see where his career continues to go with MLW.
Absolutely. So we already talked about Roxy and her debut, also with Gordy as well. We're recapping the Durant and Hammer feud, not Durant's brother, CD's feud, because this is the feud that's building. The feud is between CD and Hammer, and we'll get to that at the end of the episode as it kind of culminates. But the feud is pretty much between the head booker, El Jefe, and Hammer. And this is not good, because you don't ever want to go against a guy like CD. If you ever watch Lucha Underground, it never ended well for anybody that went at CD. It never did. It never did. And we've already got a taste of what Hammer's going to be going through, and it's going to get much worse for him as a New Year kick. So he better enjoy his Christmas. I believe he's spending it at Richard Holiday's family compound, is he not? I believe he is, right?
Oh, it would be a lovely Christmas then.
Absolutely. It would be a dynastic Christmas, that's for sure. Be a definite dynastic Christmas. So
Most
we also
certainly
get another special honoree tonight. We got the profile on Induka, but now we get the honoree of Charlie Brazers. He was honored as a
Braziz.
Sorry, thank you, Braziz.
Is it? I had a teacher in the 7th grade by the name of Mr. Nick Braziz. So when I heard Braziz, I was like, wait, what? You don't hear that name too often. But yeah, Charlie Braziz. This man's an OG camera production guy.
ECW or ECW original camera production and MLW.
Yeah.
And he's they did something really nice for him. They give him a banner in the ECW arena, in the 2300 arena, so it'll be there forever. Kind of like a Hall of Fame, if you will, of that arena. And the whole crowd gave him like a standing O, and Court Bauer even came out from the back to clap as well. So kudos to you, Charlie. Congratulations on an amazing career in the sport that we love. Rob and I wish that we could have the years in the business that you've had. And it's an honor and a privilege to have seen you get that banner, and know that, that's the first time I've ever seen somebody from the backstage, somebody from the production crew get recognized. And that's what makes MLW different and special.
And to do, I don't know about you, but to do any job for 22 years, that's a long time. To stick around doing pro wrestling, it's not exactly a glamorous job doing that production stuff, and it's not even necessarily a high paying job. So the man clearly has a passion for it. It was amazing to see him honored by the organization and the fans, and honored with that banner in the arena. So congratulations, Mr. Braziz.
Absolutely it is. It's when you have a passion for something like that and it shines through, the recognition means probably more to him than the paycheck. And so we get a recap now. Moving on. So congratulations against Charlie on an amazing career, and it's still going. It's not stopping. It's still going. So congratulations to many more years.
You ain't dead. It's still going.
Still many more years for you. We get a recap of Tankman in the attack on the Boomaye Fight Club. Mr. Thomas and Alexander Kane, they pressed charges. Mr. Thomas, in fact, pressed charges for assault, and he was arrested. And we're going to hear from the Boomaye Fight Club. And the camera starts in on Mr. Thomas's medicine cabinet. That's right. Extra strength Advil and 3 Monster energy drinks. I don't know how that's going to relieve any pain, but kudos to you for trying. And then again, Advil would mean that somebody has a headache or pain. So really try to keep it low, but Alex Kane can't keep it low. He's got to keep it 100. And he's pretty much yelling. I was dying during this whole promo. I was dying.
Yeah.
He's pretty much saying that Kane, again, they were both assaulted by Tankman. And Thomas says he hit me, but
assault
Kane says,
and battery.
Yeah. Kane says, yeah, he hit you, but I felt it. I felt that. And guess what? Stephen New, the sponsor of MLW, is their lawyer. That's right. He's their lawyer.
Yeah.
And Kane
I
says,
popped for that.
I did too. I died. And Kane says, Tankman, when you're watching MLW from your phone or from the TV in your cell, after every win, you're going to hear Boomaye, Boomaye.
So
now he was yelling, which hurt Mr. Thomas's ears, but still a great. Kane's promos have been amazing so far. Fantastic.
And there's something about Kane when he's cutting these promos. Sometimes he looks like he's angry and he's intense, but he's like on the verge of smiling. And then sometimes that throws me off. Like, are you serious or are you like half serious? But he's been just not doing that almost smiling thing. So he's getting more intense, and I like that. Boomaye, do you know what that means by any chance?
I do not. I'm just happy that I said it right.
Okay. So Shinsuke Nakamura.
Okay.
What is his finisher called in the WWE?
Boomaye kick or something?
No, it's called the Kinshasa.
Oh yeah, the
right?
Kinshasa. Yes, that's right.
When he wrestled for New Japan.
Thanks a lot, Rob. Because now everyone's gonna be
shitting
over me because I
didn't say it to make you look bad.
How can this guy be a fucking wrestling reviewer if he can't remember the Kinshasa?
Like you can remember the name of every person's finishing move like that. Like, give me a break. It's fine. I didn't say it to
remember the finishing
stupid.
moves of the guys I like. I'm not a big fan of Shinsuke. That's it.
Perfect. And again, the point of me saying it was not to make you look stupid. But when he wrestled in New Japan, his finishing move was called the Boomaye. Mm-hmm. When he came to WWE, they made him change it because Boomaye means kill him in, I believe, Bantu. Mm-hmm. So it is, and I believe it was popularized with Muhammad Ali using it. So he's chanting Boomaye, Boomaye. He's chanting kill him, essentially. So don't mess with Alex Kane is the point of that.
Well, I wouldn't mess with Mr. Thomas over Alex Kane right now. I mean, if you're hopped up on Monster energy drinks and Advil, holy fuck.
Who is this mysterious Mr. Thomas? We don't really know anything about this man. We need details. There needs to be an expose. Needs to be.
We do know something very big about this man. He's got a glass jaw because Tankman only landed one punch and he's drinking Monster energy drinks and Advil. He's not very intimidating. Sorry.
Listen,
he looks like Flow Rider.
Listen, I deal with a lot of legal representatives of part of my employment.
Okay.
And if I was a legal representative who had a client who had pressed charges of assault and battery, I would probably advise my client to make sure they were taking the appropriate medications, and especially if they were on TV, to display those medications prominently.
Yeah, but would you also not be a conflict of interest because your client is a roster member of MLW, which you are a sponsor of? Isn't that illegal?
Not technically illegal, maybe unethical.
It's totally illegal and unethical. 150%. 150%. I'm sorry.
Ethics are a very gray area.
Stephen New, unethical, sir. I expected more from the man behind him.
No, we did not just call you unethical. Please do not file a slander lawsuit against us.
That's right.
We're joking. Please. Thank you.
Oh my God.
You laugh. I'm not getting served over here.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, maybe he'll let it slide. Maybe he'll let it slide with our 30-40.
We'll have to hire Richard's lawyer father to defend us.
Done. Richard Holiday, we do know you watch the show. Put me on retainer. I know your dad is probably like $1 million an hour, but put me on retainer.
No, that'll be like pro bono. Yeah.
No, it won't. He'll probably charge us double because we're his friends. Yeah.
Dude, trust me. They'll charge me $15 to send me an email. Like, anyways, we digress. Lawyers, y'all are awesome. No slander lawsuits. Moving on.
Now we get an exclusive sit-down interview with Calvin Tank, but not really a sit-down. Well, he might have been sitting down in jail, but he was on the phone and was with one of the announce team. And he's been sitting there for days. They think they've stopped him, but this has allowed him to strategize. And when he gets out of here, they're going to be crying. And then he says, hold on, I got to go. I was just told I may be getting out of here sooner than I think. The announcer says, hey, wait a minute.
Bail got posted.
Yeah. Did your bail get posted? It did. And you're going to see me soon, Kane. And then he hangs up the phone. So Alex Kane, you better have your head on a swivel because Tankman's coming. And I can't wait to see that blow up in Mexico. Speaking of Mexico, we get a huge announcement for January 6th, CD announcement, okay? We're going to get Hammer in a tag team match with Pagano, who we saw that sweet clown promo thing happening, like the melted bloody face was awesome. And they're going to be versing King Muertes and Toras. So I got to say, I've watched some of Pagano's matches, especially he's featured a lot in the Vampiro documentary. There's a lot of times they cut away to the ring and Pagano is in the ring. Pagano is awesome. So I'm very excited. So is Taurus. And again, we all know what King Muertes can do. So Hammer's got a tall task because Pagano can also be very unhinged. He's kind of like Crazy Steve in that way, where half the time you don't even know what the fuck he's doing. So Hammer as his tag team partner, they got to come up with whatever kind of strategy.
He's crazy.
Well, Pagano has got to, try to work with Hammer to the best of his ability. But that's an awesome main event for January 6th. So be sure to tune in for that because the new year, MLW is going to be fire. Main event time. Are you ready? Okay, so
yeah, I'm ready.
Tajiri versus
Atsuki Aoki.
All right. So Aoki versus Tajiri. For me, a couple quick notes. This was a great psychological match, in my opinion. Lots of holds, and it was classic. It felt fast-paced at time and fresh at times for me. The pace quickened, and I'm a big fan of chain wrestling. We all know that. TJP and Davey Richards. I talked about that match. No, and chain wrestling is a huge thing for me. But as the match progressed, the pace got quicker, and we got to see some fireworks. That moonsault off the top turnbuckle to the outside was literally picture perfect. You couldn't get it any better than that. The drop kick from Aoki was crazy. He impressed me so much in this match. And the crazy thing about this guy is he's only in his 20s. He's got a huge upside. Huge
born
upside.
In like 99, I think.
Yeah,
so
like
he's
this,
like 22, 23.
Put it this way for me. This guy's the future. We're going to see this guy in a lot of other promotions in Japan, and I wouldn't be shocked to see him in New Japan in a couple of years. For sure, this guy impressed the hell out of me. Hold on, let me just finish. Few close calls. I thought Tajiri was going to lose. That nice pile driver by Tajiri got back in control, and then it was time for the buzzsaw kick, and it was over, and he retained. It was close, but he pulled it out. At times, I thought Tajiri might lose that title. But like I said, Aoki, I'm not going to take anything away from him. He impressed the hell out of me. This kid's got a great upside. And if you're a fan of classic, slow-paced matches to start, but to kick it into high gear to finish, this is about 12 minutes of some very cool shit you're going to see, again, gifted by MLW for free. Go ahead, Rob. The floor is yours.
All right. It was an enjoyable match. I was started off really slow, and I was kind of sitting there going like, man, a lot of rest holds and just not much going on. And then it started to pick up, and you really see the experience on a guy like Tajiri, the timing, much like the announcers were discussing. I also did some research and also noticed that it's not the first time that these two gentlemen have tangled in All Japan Pro Wrestling. Tangled just a couple months ago in October, with Aoki actually coming out on the winning side that time. So they're familiar with each other. They face each other in tag competitions and singles competitions. There's definitely some chemistry there, like especially the arm drags look so smooth, so nice. A lot of high flying stuff. He almost reminds you of like maybe less, I don't want to say talented, but maybe a less polished, less developed Kota Ibushi with some of that stuff he was doing. Um, Definitely had some charisma you could see from Aogi as well. So it was a fun match. And then as it picked up, it started hitting harder. And also through my research, I learned that there's a little bit of tension at All Japan right now, because Tajiri is trying to implement a more American style of presentation with more storylines and builds and segments, versus a Japanese style of like, okay, here's 10 guys and they're going to go in the ring and beat the shit out of each other for 25 minutes. So interesting to see kind of Tajiri's philosophy, if that's gonna bleed through All Japan and maybe bring a little bit more of that Western influence. Japan's very diverse, and I'm just going on a tangent here about Japan, so bear with me. But anyways, good match, worth a watch. Really like that. MLW is branching out globally, like just little things like this might not seem like a big deal, but you get few more eyes on the product and they tell some people and you get new fans that way, and that's how things grow. So I love that MLW has this open door policy and they're open to working with all kinds of other people, promotions. And yeah, that was a great match. That was an enjoyable match for sure, even though slow start, finished well. And that brings us to, I believe, the closing segment of the show.
The opening was fire, and why could the closer not be fire? Let's just run through this quickly. So what they did was, this is called a juxtaposition shot. If you know anything about filmmaking, is one steady camera movement where things come into frame, not the frame going into the individuals. So that's what that's called. A classic line of anything where that would be anything that Chow Yun Fat did. Hard Boiled, they actually did a shot like that where it's one steady camera motion, no cuts. So if you're a fan of those shots, then you'll be a fan of this shot. So CD, he's leaving the building for the night. And as he walks through the door, Bud Heavy is drinking in a parking lot, checking stuff on his phone. I'm going to assume it was probably escorts in the area. That's all I'm going to say. And then Holiday and Alicia, they walk in, and Holiday stops CD and he says, have you ever heard of an NFT? And an NFT is, Rob, take it away.
A non-fungible token.
Non-fungible token. CD looks like he doesn't care. And he says, send it to my business manager, Bud Heavy.
No. What he says was, no fungus. No, not fungus. NFT, fungible tokens. Send it to my business manager, Bud Heavy. Oh, also, he called him Caesar. It's no. It's Caesar. Cesar. Called him, hey, Caesar, good to see you.
But the great thing about this was Alicia was in their shot as well. And Alicia just looked at Holiday like, you are the biggest fucking tool I've ever seen in my life. This man has tried to literally end your life multiple times. And now you want to sell him on an NFT. You have to be kidding.
Yeah, consumers, Holiday NFTs, the consumers will love it.
That's right.
The chemistry with Alicia and Richard is so great. Like they play
so
off each other so well.
It's so good. And now we get Gnarls Garvin. He stops CD and he says, I'm ready to fight. I'm here to fight. And CD says, yeah, that's great. He brushed him off pretty quickly. But then he's not really, the next guy in the shot's not really a fan. No. He literally stops CD, like square palm to the chest. And it's your boy Hammer. And he says, nice main event. You really want to build my trust? And then you send your brother after me? Like, this is crazy. And then he slams CD against the wall and he says, you double cross Hammer again, and it will not work well for you. He leaves. CD straightens up the suit. And the last word you hear before CD steps out of frame is, Hammer, you're going down. And now we're on a 2-week hiatus. And let me tell you something right now. Whatever happens in January is going to be fireworks. We already know that first main event from the first show in Mexico is going to be amazing. And I can't wait to see what other stops, Court Bauer and company pull out, because MLW is always a great time. Like I said, peaks and valleys. This one here was a lot more peaks than it was valleys for me. That opening match was so-so. Homicide in LA Park was, vintage and classic. And the main event was great, in my opinion, but I'm a fan of chain wrestling. This had everything for any wrestling fan. It had great promos. It had comedy. It had action. It had suspense. It had ending storylines, developing storylines. So guys, if you're watching this, you should already be on the MLW bandwagon. And if you're not, thank you for watching, but please enjoy the product that we talk about as much as we do. Now, what are your thoughts on that last sequence? Then we'll get into the power rankings. We'll say our Merry Christmases and see you in 2022. What do you got?
CD looked like he was just like trying to go to the bathroom or something like that and just couldn't stop getting harassed by people. He was just trying to get away. But yeah, it's CD's. I want to see what this payoff is with Hammer. The segment itself was hilarious, gold as always. I love that MLW is able to pull out this humor stuff because it works so well with the talent that they have. Yeah, that was a great episode overall, top to bottom. I enjoyed it. No complaints, no major complaints. That is, looking forward to 2022 and what the next year is bringing for MLW.
Absolutely. We already know from the Court Bauer press conference that a lot of big things are happening. He wanted to tap into the Spanish market, Latin American market, and now he's heading there. So we know that's going down. But also, like you said, having the MLW Middleweight Championship defended in Japan puts more eyes on the product and it gets more fans out there recognizing. So everything he's doing about growing and try to battle the billionaires, we may not 100% see the whole picture, but that's what you get when you're dealing with the mad genius. You never get the whole picture, but you get snippets, and the snippets look pretty. That was six pretty
good.
Pretty cool. Exactly. Should we do the power rankings? You kicked it off last
Sure.
week. I will kick it off this week. I'm gonna say number 10, Richard Holiday. He was only in it for the last 2 minutes of the episode, but he made it enjoyable for me. And now I know what an NFT is. So I learned something today. Richard Holiday, number 10.
Non-fungible token. Number 9, Charlie Braziz. That a boy.
Absolutely. Recognized. I love it. Number 8 for me, Los Parks and that spear. That spear from LA Park was fantastic. So yeah, I will say LA Park number 8.
Number 7, we're gonna go with Bomaye. So Alex King.
All right. All right. Perfect. Number 6, I'm gonna say Hell's yeah, Calvin Tankman, because I want to see what that payoff's gonna be, and that's gonna be
fresh on bail, baby.
I'm out on bail. All
right. Number 5, on the back of her big win, let's give it to Holiday.
Huh. Big win, cheating win. Okay.
Well,
yeah. All right.
She's been looking really good, okay, in all of her matches. So I'm throwing Holiday at that number 5 spot.
All right, number 4, Pac-Man. We're taking out Marshall Von Erich super early.
All right, I see what you did there. Number 3, let's give it to all of 5150.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. We'll start breaking it down by factions, because if you start naming, they just take up a lot of spots. So yeah. All right, cool. Number 2, I'm going to give it to the judge in Duca. That profile was fire, and I learned a lot, and I grew as a fan and as a person who respects the man of time. So even though he didn't wrestle, the fact that I know he's smart and savage. Hold on, let me say a little bit more gangster. The fact that I know he's smart and savage, that shit's fire. Who you got for number 1?
Well, we got to give it to your boy Hammer. He didn't wrestle, but he's the champ. The champ is the king of the castle. So there's your number 1, Alexander Hammerstone.
And honorable mention for me, the shot glass.
The collapsible shot glass.
Honorable mention for me for sure. So that's it. That's 2021 in the can. Man, MLW Rewind. We started this off at the beginning of the year. We had a co-host change. I brought in my PIC, someone who's become like a brother and a good friend, family, and I appreciate you and I love you. And yeah, I just can't wait to see what happens in MLW. But for anybody who's tuned in, who's given us the support, who's been with us from day one, much love, much appreciation, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah to whoever you are and who you celebrate and how you celebrate and who you love and who you don't love. But from your boy, your host, George Mackay, and the Straight Talk family, have a safe and happy holiday season, and we'll see you January 6th.
Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe. Don't drink and drive. And take care of the people you love.
Absolutely. I'm going to go upstairs and have a shot of Hennessy. Peace.
Adios.